Okay, I'm going to lock the room and start shortly. That music was awesome. Okay, so thank you for asking, Benson. Oh, this sounds. So today we are going to take a look at defining and non-defining relative clauses. And we'll start with this Kahoot. And depending on what you know, we don't necessarily have to do too much on this grammar item, but that depends on how you do on this Kahoot. Quickly, you may want to repeat after me, clause. Clause. A clause is a sentence without a capital letter and a full stop. A clause is a sentence, capital letter at the beginning and a full stop at the end. This is a clause. A clause has a subject and a verb like a sentence. So a clause is very similar to a sentence, and oftentimes we use them interchangeably. The key difference is a clause doesn't have a capital letter at the beginning. It doesn't have to have a capital letter at the beginning. And it doesn't necessarily have to have a full stop. So all sentences have clauses, are clauses. Not all clauses are sentences. Okay, are we ready? Let's start. Going in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We have 18 people in this room. Okay, 19. Do we have the 20th? We have 23 people in this room. 19. Okay, let's do it. Let's see what we know about clauses. Combine the two sentences. Okay. So Let's go to people are nice. I like people. So in these two sentences, you see the same word. That's the key. The key to making one sentence from two sentences is finding the same word in both sentences and then using a defining or non-defining relative pronoun to combine the sentences. So we see people are nice, I like people. Then you see at the bottom, I like people. And then you see right next to people, the relative pronoun who. And who, in this case, means people. So you see, I like people who are nice. And who are nice, who means people. People are nice. So now you're starting to see how we combine two sentences using relative pronouns. Okay. Is there the chat window? Hello, chat window. Yeah, I'm sorry, that was way too fast. How about I change the question time to 20 seconds. Okay, let's actually do that again. I need about 2 minutes. I'm going to change this to 20 seconds. It was way too fast. Thanks for letting me know. We're going to abort this. I need to make a change. Edit this. Yeah, 5 seconds is too fast. Okay. Let's double the time. Let's make it 20 seconds. Actually, you know what? Let's make it 30 seconds since we're starting off. If we do this again, maybe we'll make it for 20 seconds. I want you guys to be able to read and think carefully. So thanks for the feedback. Sorry about that. 1 more minute. Okay. I think that's it. Okay, double checking. Okay, so each question should be 30 seconds now. Okay, done. Let's play now. Teach. Share screen. Let's do it, boys and girls. Randomized order of questions, randomized order of answers. Let's get our music up. Start when we have 19 people. What kind of music do we have? Indie pop. Oh my gosh. I don't like this indie pop. It's not the kind of music we want. We want some trance. Okay, good. Yes. Thank you. It was too much like a party. All right, we've got 20 people. Let's do it in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 30 seconds each question. Combine the two sentences. Oops, sorry about that. Okay. So this question was very similar to the question we just saw. We see two sentences, and the common word, or words that is, in the two sentences are the girl. Now, when we look down at the correct answer, we see the girl doesn't speak English. I'm going to try to draw this very clearly for you. The girl doesn't speak English. And then you see the girl works in the shop. You actually see who works in the shop. So what happened was, to combine the two sentences, we took one and put it inside, in between the words of the other sentence. I'll say it again. So to combine these two sentences, we took one, we put it inside. And instead of saying the girl works in the shop, we said who works in the shop. Okay. So if I can just type this quickly and merge it. Yeah. Okay. So who is a relative pronoun. Okay, who equals question word. Who is also a relative pronoun. Who is a relative pronoun for a person. So we use who instead of a person when we combine sentences. So instead of saying the girl works in the shop, we say who works in the shop. Then we put the who next to the word that is being substituted, the girl. Let's try another one. Okay, great. Super, guys. Let's give it a shot. She likes films. Uh-oh. No. Okay. So it seems like you guys have the hang of this. Which and that are also relative pronouns, and both are correct. Because this is a non-defining relative clause. Thankfully, only one person said who. Who is wrong because films is not people. Remember, who is a relative pronoun for people. Films, movies are not people. I am a person. I'm not a movie. Okay? So which and that you can use for films. And also because the clause, she likes films, is a defining relative clause. Let me ask you a quick question, boys and girls. She likes films that make her laugh. Can you please write the two sentences that were combined to make the above sentence? Just a little test. Just type. She likes films that make her laugh. Can you separate the sentences? She likes films. Okay, that's one sentence. What's the other sentence? No, Pensy. Nope. I just want one more sentence. She likes films that make her laugh equals she likes films plus good films make her laugh. Good. Okay. So she likes films that make her laugh equals she likes films make her laugh. And then you just pack them on with like that. Nice job. Here we go. Next. Whoa. Nice. I need to make sure I'm online now. Let's go. Question 3. That's the film. And someone is a little confused because who is not a person. I mean, that is, film is not a person. And who refers to people. Now this is a little more complicated. So sometimes we don't have to actually write that. Okay? There are times that is the film that I saw on TV equals that is the film I saw on TV. Sometimes you don't have to write that. Now I have a question. What are the two sentences that made the above sentence? Can you write out the two sentences that compose the above sentence? What are the two sentences? Just type the answer. I saw the film. Sure, okay, that's about right. That is about right. Now make sure, Carmen, you use full stops. Use full stops and not commas when you make sentences. So you can say, I saw the film. Okay, that is the film. Okay, Mandy, yes, that is the film. Plus, I saw the film on TV. So that is the film. Great, Mandy. Plus, I saw the film on TV. Okay, let's keep going. Carmen is on a winning streak. God bless you. Congratulations, Carmen. I like shops. There's no full stop at the end of this sentence. I need to revise. Here we are again. So we see shops and which and that can be used because this is this is defining. One person wrote whose, and whose is possessive. That is, it owns something. And that's not what we want right now. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Quickly, I like shops that close late. Can you please separate these sentences for me? Can you type that? Good. Now, Pansy, remember, like Carmen, please use full stops and not commas. Okay, so I like shops. I like shops. Shops close late. Okay, good. Nice job. Super. Nice job, Pansy. Five. Combine the two sentences. This time it's a person, the boy. Good. All right. So it seems like you've got the hang of this. I see two people answered whose. But again, whose is possessive. That means ownership. They own something. In this case, we don't convey that meaning. Now, I have a question, boys and girls. I met a boy who can speak Chinese very well. I met a boy who can speak Chinese very well. What other relative pronoun can we use in this example instead of who? What would be another right answer? I met a boy. Okay. Yes, Ken. Wow. And Pansy. That's right. I met a boy that can speak Chinese very well equals I met a boy who can speak Chinese very well. So when we're defining clauses for people, we can use who or that. Who or that can refer to people in defining clauses. Now, Waterwood, I think, is Benson. And Benson's asking where we should put the relative pronouns. The relative pronoun. Now, Benson, let's be clear. It's not about whether it's in the middle of a sentence or the beginning of a sentence. The relative pronoun almost always goes behind the word that's being referred to. Okay, so actually, I'm not sure if your question is the question you actually want to ask. The relative pronoun always almost always goes right behind the word that it refers to. Okay, so you see who, who means boy. How do you know? Because who goes right behind boy. So I'll say it one more time. The relative pronoun goes behind the word that is being referred to, the reference word. Okay. All right. Let's go. Combine the two sentences. All right. Here you see possession. Oh no. Oh, what happens? Ow. Oh no. Oh my God. Great. Great job, boys and girls. So now you see possession. You see the man's car was stolen. And instead of seeing the man's, you see whose. So this is a case where we see whose, because whose means the man's. And we see whose right next to the man. Okay? So we know that whose refers to the man, possessive. That is the man. The man's car was stolen. Nice. Whoa, it's neck and neck. Combine the two sentences. Great. Super job. So we see a company. So a company, we can use which or that. And you see that the relative pronoun goes right after the word, the reference word. I work in a company. The company sells things on the internet. I work in a company. The company sells things on the internet. Okay, great. Find the two sentences. Oh, this one's going to be difficult. Uh-oh. This is tricky. Interesting. Wow. Okay. First things first. We saw the common phrase was in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong. Now, what is a relative pronoun for Hong Kong? A place. Well, one relative pronoun is where. Okay, where equals relative pronoun for a place. Where actually means in which. That's actually what it means. Where means in which. So where? In Hong Kong. So we combine these two sentences. They live in Hong Kong, where the chief executive is a woman. Nice job, guys. This was a hard one. Let's keep going. 4 to go. The students like books. Oh, this should be easy. Oh no. Oh no, Dr. Wu's internet's too slow. Hurry. Okay, great job, boys and girls. So it seems like you guys are most proficient when you combine two sentences that are things and just are like that. So when you guys see two sentences that you can combine just like that, it's easiest for you. The problem is when you have to combine things, when you put one sentence inside of another sentence, then things become more challenging. Great, super. Okay, let's do it. 3 to go. This should be an easy one too. Okay, good. Use who for people. And again, you're very proficient at taking two sentences and just connecting them. That's great. Okay, 2 to go. Should be easy too. Very easy. Okay. Now I have a question. Oh no. Before we go to the last sentence, girl knows you. I met a girl. Girl knows you. Girl knows. I met a girl who knows you. Okay. Now, is there another way to write the sentence? I think there are. Can you give me another possible answer? Let's just see what you know. Yes, good, Mancy. There is, yes, okay. That's one possible answer. But how about this? Try that. Now combine the sentences in a different way. Instead of using the relative pronoun, instead of just changing the relative pronoun, actually change like this. Okay, so before it was like this, but now do this. Yeah, good. Yes. Okay. Now, you can write a girl that I met knows you. You could also write a girl I met knows you. So you don't have to say that. Okay. And then a girl whom I met knows you. Whom is a relative pronoun for people when the people are objects in a sentence. So there are actually many different, and who equals a relative pronoun for people when the people are subjects in a sentence. So that one's a little trickier. I mean, even native speakers don't get this correct. They mess it up. So there's a difference between whom and who. Both are relative pronouns. They have different meanings. Okay? So who is not whose is not whom. Okay. Great. Let's go to our last one. Oh, second to last. She saw the boy. This should be easy. Pretty easy. Hopefully everyone gets this correct. Excellent. Excellent. Good. All right. Let's go to our last one. Oh, this one's tricky. Okay, super. So we see the train it refers to the train, leaves at midday, and we see the train that she goes to Shenzhen. So the train goes to Shenzhen was put in the train leaves at midday. Okay, great. Nice job, boys and girls. Super. Excellent. Let's get some feedback. Save results. Save drive. Okay, save it. Yep. Okay. Let's direct download. No need to direct download. Yep. Okay, let's save it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, good. Okay. Now let's go to a PowerPoint and then we'll finish. Oh, I'll need to take attendance too. Okay. No, the quiz won't be marked. Do you want it to be marked? We can do another one. For real. Okay. We can. Next week, when we meet, we can continue to review defining and non-defining relative clauses. Then we can take a Kahoot for marks. So now I'm on the, hello, what's going on here? I'm on this page here. And let me share the link with you. These are some PowerPoint slides. We can, let's just quickly go to what our textbook says about defining and non-defining relative clauses. So let's go to page 86. All right. So quickly, a defining relative clause, you may want to repeat after me, defining. You see the word definition. So defining means necessary information. Defining equals necessary information. Non-defining means unnecessary information. Unnecessary information. That's the best way to put it. So when we want to add necessary information to something, like a sentence, a word in a sentence, then we create a defining relative clause. So you say here, jobs. Which kinds of jobs? And then you can add which or that, because we're defining jobs. Jobs that, okay, jobs are relevant to their future careers. Now, you need to look very carefully, boys and girls. There are no commas. When we are defining, we don't use commas. Right? Defining relative clauses, necessary information, which and that, no commas. All right, here we go. Therefore, or in contrast, non-defining, unnecessary information, we use commas. Commas. I'll say it one more time. Non-defining relative clause, unnecessary information, commas. Commas. Now, one more thing, and look at this common mistake. When we're using a defining relative clause, we can use which and that. When we're non-defining, we can only use which or who. We don't use that. I'll write it down for you. Which and that, which and that are defining relative pronouns. Necessary information. Which is a non-defining relative pronoun. That is not. Let's quickly go down. So they introduced the word whose, because whose means possession. Oh gosh, let's try that. Whose, possession. So students whose job is to wait tables will improve their communication skills by talking with diners, for example. In this case, what does whose mean? Whose. Students whose job is to wait tables will improve their communication skills. Students whose job is to wait tables will improve their communication skills. What does whose mean in this case? And we'll finish with that. Just type the answer. Here's a clue. You'll need an apostrophe, but where does the apostrophe go? That I will take attendance as well. Pop that out. Okay. Here. Okay. Jangly, you're here. Okay. And Genia. Tommy. Timothy. Kathy. Armin. Nancy. Kathy. Kaylee. Walter. John. Lou. Whoops. All right. Chloe, Nancy, Henry, Jack, Andy, and Bobby. Bobby, you're here. Andy, you're here. And Ben, Sam, you're here. I think that's it. All right. No Cherry, Moan, Mika, Timmy, Michelle, Adam, Ronnie, Kaki, Ken 25, and Sam. There's, that's close. No. Oh, Moon, you're there. Oh, hey, Moon. Sorry. Thanks for telling me. Okay. Whose equals students? All right. Any questions? So next week, we'll review some slides. I think we'll do some exercises, then we'll take a quiz, and then we'll return to our writing. All right, God bless you guys. Have a good weekend. I'll see you soon.